welcome back to the channel. Nothing has popped up on Marketplace for anything fun to work on or any good deals. Everything's overpriced junk. So instead of buying some overpriced junk, I just brought some junk in to the shop that I already have. So this is like a 2000 to 2005 Yamaha Kodiak 450 or 400. I don't know. The dude I bought it from says it's a 400 or, excuse me. He said it was a 450. But when I rolled it in last night, I looked at the top end, it says 401. So, I don't know. This one's four-wheel drive, and I originally bought this one for $200, missing the carburetor, the airbox, and the muffler. And I bought this for parts for the two-wheel drive Kodiak that I had gotten for free. And so this has been sitting in my backyard for so many months, and, you know, I actually saw two vintage. Joe, he got a Honda Rancher that I just thought there's no way that thing was going to run. I was like, dude, that Rancher has got a freaking crack in the case. It's rusted out. It's like, there's no way that thing's going to run. And then it ran perfect. So I thought to myself, let's pull that Kodiak out and see what we can do. So I got this just the way you see it. I do have the gas tank and the plastics. Have all the plastics. The front bumper is pretty beat on it. But I will say, the one thing that gives me hope on this four-wheeler is the plastics are not bad. There's one little crack right there, and then one little crack right here. But other than that, the plastics are in great shape. And like I said, I have the plastics for, the tank. So the guy I got it from said it smoked and it needed a top end, which we did a top end on that Kodiak. We used the Amazon top end. That one was a little questionable. I think the cylinder was oblong, oval, egg-shaped, and but it ran, and I didn't hear from the guy that I sold it to. So, but I found that Niche makes a top end kit complete with a cylinder and everything for $100. So I think we can get this thing running and driving for $500. I know we can get an OEM seat for like $115, $100 on the top end. We do need an airbox and carburetor. So what, we're at $200. Let's just say, we'll just call it even and say another $100 for that stuff, because we need actually I do have a solenoid. So we'll call it $300 because we got a couple other little parts there. We need the muffler. I don't know, maybe I pull something out of my stash up there and we get funky with it like I do almost every four-wheeler. But the big drawback on this four-wheeler is the wheels and tires. These are off a Honda of some sort, and the front ones are, they fit fine. The tires are bald, but the backs are 10-inch wheels, I think. And if you can see here, it is hitting the wheel. So that is a major issue. So we either have to find just new rear wheels, or we gotta find a whole new set with tires. But I think we can get it running and driving for less than $500. I did steal this metal coolant tube off off this one for the two-wheel drive one I had. But everything else looks pretty solid. Now, this cover here has always been loose. It's been sitting outside for over a year with this cover loose. Let's see if we can find anything special in here. Oh, hey, make sure you subscribe. YouTube says about 2,700 of you come back and watch. Well, you haven't subscribed, so what's up with that? Okay, wow. So no major rust or anything. I do see a little leaf right there. We can probably fish that out later. And a twig. So I think the first thing we need to do is make sure this thing turns over. All right. So the pull start was already off. I don't even think I have the pull start. So just 17 millimeter here. Oh yeah. Oh, I hear water. Feels a little crunchy. Uh-oh. The water has just splooged out the intake. Or no, the exhaust rather. All right, let's keep going. It was sounding crunchy. Oh wait, I broke the nut free. Well, hopefully we can go this way. Ah. Oh yeah, we're turning it over now. Doesn't feel like we got compression though, which I think the spark plug is in. Another thing I just noticed is we are missing that one head bolt right there. That one head bolt is not in. And our spark plug is in. I don't know if doesn't feel loose. But let's get the spark plug out and put some go-go juice in it. All right, I know this isn't the best angle, but I think the spark plug was just in there, finger tight. So that could be why it didn't seem like we had compression. Oh yeah, that ain't good, buddy. Let's put some stuff down the cylinder and see if we can get some spark. All right, before we get started here, there's a couple things to note. They hooked up a automotive solenoid down there. It looks like they ran their own wires, but we have the original wires. It looks like they go right here to this solenoid. And this is the original plug for the solenoid. There is no solenoid in there. I do have another one, but you can see the wires go into there, and they've done some crazy stuff here. So the wires go to the bottom, and you can see they've done some super custom wiring and zip tie work. Let's hook up the battery. This is our testing battery. Let's see if we get anything on the dash for lights. Turn the key on. Nothing. I think we have to have the solenoid plugged in, unless if they hardwired, because the power from the battery is that one, I think. There's only 3 plugs in here. I don't know. Let's plug this in. Let's see what that does. Do we have any lights now? That should be neutral. Let's make sure the key switch is plugged in. And it is. It's a crazy plug. All right, let's leave it on. See if anything happens when we hit the starter button here. Nothing when we hit the starter button. Damn, that's freaking locked up. Let's see if anything happens when we run this to the starter. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. sounds like it turns over. I've undone all this craziness, and I think this is actually for a winch, because I traced them all the way up to the front here, and they were just cut off. I don't see any mount here showing that, but that would make sense. This thing's all beat up, maybe. Let's see, is there a winch in here? I don't see anywhere where there was a winch or not, really. What is that? Oh yeah, look, there's the wire right there. That went to the winch. There's another one. So I guess it had a winch on here. So now we got to figure out, why are we not getting power up here? And I suspect it's got to do something with the solenoid wire here. You know what? I'm an idiot. We have to hook up a positive terminal to one of these. I'm not sure which one it is. I think that was probably battery and then motor. So let's see if anything happens when I... Nothing. Well, it's because our... Okay, let's see if anything happens when I do this. Yes, we have a neutral light. Let's see if the starter button works. No. Huh, well, we got a neutral light, so that's good. So that's one mystery solved. I'm gonna put a bolt here, and then we'll keep on trucking. All right, this is just a cheap multimeter. I actually got this one on Amazon. I can put a link in the description if you don't have one. You can get one at Walmart, Harbor Freight, whatever. So you put on this right here. This is continuity, that one, and then it beeps when you have connection. So I don't know what that wire is. Huh, that's a mystery wire that I just pulled out. I think that was extra. I don't think that's stock. So you just check these two posts. Good. 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 All right, so all of our fuses are good, but that doesn't necessarily mean this has been open for a long time. So, you know, they could be corroded in there. So let's go ahead and pull those out and hit it with some brake clean, throw them back in. Start with taking out all the tins. Yeah, these are pretty corroded. Look how corroded those are. And then I just have a little file. And do that for all of them. Okay, so this one doesn't appear to be broken, but you can see this thing just fell apart. I have to get a new one. This one might be the same thing. Yeah, that one just fell apart too, even though it's still good. Let's try this 15. That 15, look at that. I mean, it ohmed out, or continuity'd out, so I assume it wasn't broken then. So we do have an extra 15 right here. That one's brittle too. Huh. So I need 15 and 2/8. Now that I hit the kill switch back and forth a little bit, we have, it says 9, and then I let off and it goes to 10. Which maybe the battery's a little dead, but so now I need to hook up this starter wire, put a little bit more go-go juice down the cylinder, some lube, maybe put some oil, and then we can spin it over a little bit and see if we have spark. All right, check the oil here. Got plenty of oil. Okay, here is the spark plug I pulled out. I cleaned it up with some sandpaper in there, and I brake cleaned it. So all the junk is out. Now, we need to see if we got spark. Sparkicus. Okay, we have spark. It did seem a little intermittent, maybe, but it could just, let's try a different spark plug. Okay, this is a different spark plug. This is what came out of the Grizzly 660. It's a Chinese plug, but we'll give her a whirl. Okay, our spark is definitely way better with this one. So I'm gonna see, I wonder if this is even the same size. I don't even know where the old one went. Well, we're gonna throw this one in. Okay, I just tried to see if I had a carburetor that would kind of just like fit on this, just for something, and I do not. So what we're gonna do is just spray a little brake clean in the cylinder there. Let's see what happens. A massive fire. Yay. Guess we should probably get the leaves out, huh? Okay, so it is blowing air out of the carburetor, which makes me suspect we have a bent valve, or the corrosion has gotten so bad from it sitting around that the valves are no longer sealing, specifically the intake. So I think this thing will run, but I need to take it apart. But before I do that, I really need to pressure wash this thing and really get this thing cleaned up before I start doing all that. So that's okay. I did run the VIN here. Turns out this is an 02 Yamaha Kodiak 400. So there we are. All right, so I posted this thing up on Facebook today, thinking, all right, well, let's just see if anyone wants to buy it, you know. So I threw it back together like you see, posted it up for 600 bucks, and have you know it, no one messaged me. So I'm gonna go ahead and pressure wash it, and then we'll throw it back in the garage. All right, so this thing actually looks like it's gonna clean up pretty good. Super surprising. It looked better when I had all the pieces on, but I took it off to, you know, get all the junk out of here. So it's cold as hell out. I'm gonna let it dry, and we'll drip dry as much as we can, and then we'll roll it inside. Okay, so I have all the different parts I think we need here on eBay, and the only thing I didn't put on eBay was this cylinder kit right here, 99 bucks, cylinder, piston, gaskets, and everything. But I did put a different one in here to try and get the right total. So we're missing one headlight. This is that top end I was talking about. We need the air box. This is like a 2 or 3 year only air box. So it's 60 bucks. New seat, 118. New tires, 250. The back wheels are not the right ones. This is the best deal I can find on back wheels. We may or may not need the axle. Definitely hubs. But anyways, 215. 45 for a carburetor with the cable, a new petcock, and that totals up to $978 So, I mean, there's probably some things I could probably get a deal on, like some secondhand wheels and tires and stuff like that. And we don't need the seat to get it running or driving per se. But I don't know, this is still, basically $1,000 to get it, get it how it needs to be. And this doesn't even include the front bumper or the muffler that we're missing. They want $150 for one of these mufflers. So, anyways, comment down below and let me know, should we save this four-wheeler or should I part it out? I know there's several $100 parts I could part it out, but then at the end of the day, I'm left with like 10% of a four-wheeler that I hate to just, scrap. All right, so thinking about this overnight, maybe we can part it out. So we're looking at the eBay solds here, and it looks like the rear differentials bring good money, about $300. Someone was able to snag $260 out of this front A-arms and spindle for just the one side. Looks like the head, I think our head, we need to take the valves out and clean them up. But they go for around $200 to $250 for a head. This one, here's the wiring harness. These wiring harnesses are pretty year specific and model specific. And $229, someone's wiring harness got chewed up by a rat. People need these parts. These four-wheelers are at an age, right here, 2000 to 06. These four-wheelers are still worth saving in most cases, but they don't make the parts anymore. So that's why, $200 for this raggedy old muffler. Now, we don't have the muffler or the bumper, but $175 for the bumper. We do have both racks, $180 for the front rack. And then this steering knuckle, $175. That's insane. They got a good deal on that head. $155 for the rear rack. That's a good deal. Stator, $150. I don't know how these people paid $150 for these old raggedy shocks. $150 for a CDI. $100 for one side cover. I got both. That's $200. I just clicked on something. That's $200 just in side covers. What else we got here? This front fascia, $100. I am surprised the front diffs don't go for much, $100. Gas tank, $70. Now we don't have the wheels. But anyways, as you can see here, this thing could be profitable for me if I decided to part it out. I don't like parting things out. I mean, I do and I don't, but this one is such a specific, it's a catch-22. You're able to get, big number, big price for parts, but you're going to be sitting on them for a while and you're going to have a machine and half of it's gone. And, at that point, it's, I hate throwing away good parts. So I'm not sure what we're going to do. I'm going to go check the four-wheeler out again. We'll go look at it right now. All right, so I washed up the four-wheeler last night. And as we just saw on the computer, this is still a great candidate to part out. I just put some SC1 on it, shined it up. And this is still, this could be a good-looking four-wheeler if we put a seat and new wheels, tires on it. So I still do want to get the engine running. We definitely need to order that niche top end kit, the $100 one.
China.
And the $30, $40, $50 carburetor.
I love China.
That way we can get the engine running and we can sell a running engine. I do think it's going to run, and I suspect something in the valves or the cylinder I think is definitely rusty and pitted. And I don't want to take it apart, not have the parts, wait on parts. I'd rather have, most of the parts on hand when we take it apart. I don't like projects just sitting. So the next video, we're definitely going to get it running, and we'll go from there. I was also thinking, once we get the engine running, we could sell the engine. There are a few on eBay. They run, $600 to $1,000. I think the $1,000 ones are running, and $600 was just the bottom end. But there are no solds, so it's hard to say what they're actually worth. I also had another thought. If we can get, 100 people to commit $5, donate on this four-wheeler, you know, we'll go ahead and fix this thing the whole way up. I hate to ask for handouts or whatever, but you know, that's the cost of fixing these four-wheelers up. If maybe you feel compelled that this four-wheeler is special, a special model, brings back, you know, childhood memories or whatever. So between this video and the next video where we get it running, hopefully we'll get it running, if you commit $5 and we can get at least 100 people to donate, we'll go ahead and get this thing tip-top shape. We'll fix everything, all the parts we need to make this thing as good as we can. Make it a runner and a rider. If we can't raise the money by, you know, the end of the next video, I'll send you your $5 back. So what do you have to lose? You have to lose $5 and see this thing get fixed up, or you send the $5 over, no one else wants to pitch in, and I just send you your money back. So thanks for watching.